Okay, people, so now I'm back. It's April 15th, 2020. I seen Ciera. I can surely say I identified my daughter, right, to the best of my ability. She didn't look as bad as I half expected. In other words, she didn't look that bad, people. She actually, in many instances, appeared better than ShaMay. Now, mind you, Ciera was in a mortuary cooler. So that would have slowed down any decomposition. And because they did the autopsy and took out the organs and then put them in a bag and kind of like, right? That in itself also slows down decomposition, because it's the organs that are the triggers to spread it out throughout the body in terms of the information, right? The chemicals, the hormones, whatever it is that tells that cell from over here to over there that it's time to, decompose, because this cell over here isn't alive over there no more. So it's just a process. So because, she was in basically cold storage, her body wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. So on the bright side, that was okay. The people at the funeral home were very nice, right? They let me record it, so I actually have a recording, but I'm not going to post it because obviously my family is up in arms, right? I've seen worse on YouTube, people, trust me, okay? What I have of my daughter is mild compared to what I've seen on YouTube when it comes to actual autopsies and taking out brains and all this other stuff, right? I did that more for my records based on the principle that they didn't let me see her at the point of her death, in terms of at the scene, right? If they would have let me see her, people, and look at her for a bit, I'm sure I would have moved on. But for whatever reason, it turned into this great big gong show that has opened up a whole bunch of can of worms. Not just one can, but a whole bunch of can of worms, people. And that's not my fault. I was making yogurt. We have documentation of me making yogurt with peaches. I don't know how I get drawn into all this drama, right? In terms of, just because Ciera's body didn't look as bad as I expected it, doesn't mean something wrong didn't happen. What that wrong is still to be determined, right? Based on the actions of the police and the coroner's office and related people that were on that property. As my children and myself were standing on a porch as it was basically raining, right? Having chit-chat with police officers that were clearly called in as backup, but played themselves off as the friendly guy who just wanted to help and to, distract away from what was going on. So anyway, I'll get into that later on. Moving along, because I'm kind of tired and I just want to go have a bath, right? I went to the courthouse because I was going to file the notice of claim, which I have fully written now. I proofread it when I was waiting to go. I caught a few little errors, so I've cleaned it up. From what I can tell, it reads pretty smooth. I mean, I don't think I repeated myself too much outside of, maybe taking federal law and applying it twice to two different entities at 2 different occasions within the timeline of the notice of claim itself. Right? And I was going to go in on Friday and file it based on 19th being statute of limitation. Now, mind you, keep in mind, the police investigation didn't get closed until 2019. Right? And I'm basing my notice of claim on 2018 of April. So, was it the 11th? Was it the 15th? When she had that brain anomaly in the hospital where it provoked them to do a brain scan on the 16th and then suddenly pronounce her brain dead. And then on the 19th, that's when they turned off the so-called ventilator and she was dead, right? And what do you call it? That was her 4th death at the Surrey Memorial Hospital, right? And then, of course, because there needed to be an active investigation, that came about, right? And officially it wasn't really closed until 2019, in May, when the coroner called me. It was in May 29th or something like that, 2019, calling me up, saying, that's it, it's done. Case closed, accident, stamp, moving along. But, sorry, I'm tired. But, after this, you're going to see me at the courthouse, holding my camera. At some point, I'm not really saying anything because I'm just waiting for the sheriff to come back and tell me what I can do to file this thing. Right? And you'll see that. And basically, I am going to be dropping off, I guess, the notice of civil claim in an envelope with its correct form attached to it. The only thing is, I won't be able to assign a number to it. That's not my job, that's the registry's job. With a check. And then drop it off into a little drop box with no receipt. And then when you read this, it tells you it doesn't open it up for 2 business days. Which means if I put it in on the 17th, which is Friday, basing everything on the 19th, they wouldn't open it up until the 21st. So when does it become a legitimate document? Is it going to be thrown out of court on a technicality? Right? Because they didn't open it up on the 19th? Because I couldn't file it through the registry? And that's assuming that they even cashed the check. Because they might look at the notice of claim and decide that it conveniently got lost in the garbage can and nobody could find it. And it's he says against she says in terms of was it really there? I mean, the chances of it disappearing and not being processed, I would think, would be very small. But stranger things under the sun has happened, people, so take it with a grain of salt. So I don't know what to do, basically, because I'm a little fishy about it. As everybody running around acting fucking paranoid. I can't believe how paranoid the public is. So, if this is a Supreme Court matter, after completing the form, which would be Form 1 for me, Dropbox Court Payment Information Sheet. Dropbox Court Payment Information Sheet. Please, he didn't give me a Dropbox court payment information sheet. He didn't give that to me. Oh wait, no, I got it right here. So here's this. I fill out that. Obviously photocopy for my records. Supply the check. Photocopy that for my records. And then put everything into an envelope. Drop it off on the 17th. There's no way for me to prove that other than doing a video, as the sheriff will be screaming, well, not screaming, but you're not allowed to record, not allowed to record, turn off your camera. And I'll be like, well, no, this is my receipt, this proves that I'm dropping it off. But then, right, anybody could say that I was dropping off an empty envelope. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I have to show you what's in the envelope first, put it in there, seal it in front of the video, then go to the courthouse with the same envelope, right, and say, okay, I'm recording this because this is my only means to document that I am filing my notice of claim on April 17th of 2020. And then when it goes to court, if they want to throw it out, I'll say you can't because I have it documented that I was there. I mean, what kind of society do we live in when you gotta be freaking worrying about shit like that, people? Like, come on, think about it. So anyway, this with me at the courthouse took too long, right? It took too long, so I'm just going to upload this with me at the courthouse. Understand, I did see Ciera, and, you know, putting bodies in cold storage definitely makes a difference in regards to how quickly a body decomposes, right? Obviously, you heard that, well, you didn't hear it. Maybe what I'll do, maybe I won't, okay, I can't put this up online, people, because first of all, people will be screaming, oh, you're disrespecting your daughter, oh, it's not that, you know, oh, you'll never hear the end of it. And then, of course, my own kids, oh, you know, it's not content, Mom, you know, oh, and it's not about being content, because I've seen worse on YouTube compared to what I looked at today. It's about, well, almost everything I do, people, is about principle. Okay, and as an educational tool, right? I mean, if it's not principle, it's done for educational purposes. You go into my videos, it will say for educational purposes. That's why I allowed ShaMay's pictures to go out, for educational purposes, right? Well, if this video ever gets out there, then it would be for that sole purpose. However, I could find a compromise, and maybe what I can do is take out the visualization. My son would have to help me with that. And then just maybe upload the audio so you can hear the audio, right? In terms of how this woman that works in this industry, right, in terms of burying people, explained to me certain things that reassured me, right, that I understood what I was looking at, right? So I will consider doing that. I will run it by my kids, see if they'll compromise with me on this. But outside of that, this is for my records. In terms of, you know, stand on the principle. I had the right as a parent. You know, I could only, and it goes back, you know, when in doubt, go to the default of my landlady, 76 years old. You know, the last thing that she needs to do is wait 19 days before she could identify her son to be her son. Okay? Right? That's the ticket. That's the big one. That's what the fight is all about. Right? More than anything. For anybody's right. Right? So that's why I have what I have. Right? So I'm going to end it on that note. Okay, people, I'm at the courthouse here. I want to file my notice of claim like Friday, but I don't know if the courthouse is open. Oh. What?
You cannot record inside the courthouse.
Well, is it open?
Nope. It is open, but it's restricted, and plus, there's no recording. So I'm going to ask you to...
Okay, so I'll put it this way.
Okay.
So, All right, so I need to
Still
come. I need to come here on Friday
Why Friday?
because I'll have my paperwork on Friday,
Okay.
and I'd like to file a notice of claim. Is that possible?
It is possible.
Okay.
We have this Dropbox right here. Is it urgent or not?
Well, I guess if you want to say under the statute of limitation, it would be. But then, in light of what's going on, I don't know if a judge would. And
So we have an urgent, a system to determine urgent matters. I can give you that paperwork.
okay, that would be good.
Okay. That's probably the
And I'm
way
going
you
to be
wanna go.
paying cash. So do I just add in the cash? I can't write a check.
Let me look and see what it says, but I'll just get you to stop recording if you could.
Okay.
Or step back.
Okay, so now I'm outside the Supreme Court of Canada, New Westminster. This fella's telling me I can't record. Okay, I'm recording myself.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
So this is a request for urgent hearing.
Hold on.
So
No, I'm not looking for a hearing. I'm looking to file a notice of claim. That has to go through the court registry.
okay.
And I have to pay.
Okay.
I'll take that, but
Yeah. So I don't think that you're asking for an urgent hearing then.
no.
Okay.
No.
So when you have your documents, they'll go in an envelope like this
With the money.
with the money, your name,
Uh-huh.
a way to contact you, so address, phone number, and it'll go in that yellow black box right there.
Is there anything to verify that the money is in the envelope? I won't get a receipt. Anybody could say, oh, it wasn't there. Right?
So there's another one that talked about payments. Oh, next question. Is it Supreme Court or Provincial Court?
Supreme.
Supreme.
I like sheriffs, by the way. I have an American sheriff friend,
Okay.
all the way up in the Florida area.
Oh.
So you guys are always in my good books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Purchase for filing materials. If a judge determines that a hearing, okay, that's...
No, that's
yeah,
not it.
If it's for urgent matters. Requesting hearing, urgent, changes... Yeah, no, my understanding is that the money will have to be attached. I know that there was one other form for attachments. Let me check.
Oh my. Is this still recording? Yeah, it is. Can't do it online, people. It has to go through the court registry. It's the court registry that processes the papers and assigns the file number. And honestly, I don't feel very comfortable about putting $200 in cash and 20s in an envelope in that little box there. Do you see that? Sorry, that little yellow box. I was just talking about your little yellow box.
Okay, so this is what I have. I have a Dropbox court payment information sheet, so that will accompany your payment.
Okay.
And then it also talks about non-urgent court payments. So mail check, money order, or bank draft made payable to Minister of Finance. And so not cash,
Okay.
but those...
A check
forms of
will be
payment.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then any information, you can call those two numbers.
Okay, where's those other papers you were going to give me?
The urgent ones. Okay, if you think you're going to file to make it an urgent matter, if you need an
Oh,
urgent
oh,
hearing.
this is-
That's what that document is for.
No, I don't need an urgent hearing. So this is how I file my notice of claim.
In the Dropbox. Once you've got all your documents all together, you attach payment, if payment's required,
Okay.
to it. It goes in an envelope with your name, phone number, contact information, and then it goes in the Dropbox.
Okay, well, the last time I'm aware of, it's $200, but maybe it changed. Maybe the fee is different now.
I would give them a call.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
They are in there. They've only got like 4 or 5 people in there, but
In the big old courthouse, only 4 or 5. All right.
the registry area.
Oh, registry. Okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Have a good day. Bye.